Trish.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Welcome to the Uncut Show, Trish. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good now. Thank you. How are you guys?
Very good.
Good.
Very good.
I love these glasses. You two are vibing, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I decided to have it on. It's actually prescribed, but yeah.
Good.
That's what they all say. It's for fashion.
It's true. I'm still getting used to it after like 3 months. Like, I'll be looking for my glasses, like, where did I last put it? I'm not used to it yet.
I want to say to Trish, are you excited about tonight's Big Brother?
I'm actually so excited. You know, it took me a while. People were asking me if I'm going to watch it. I was like, I'm not sure. But towards the end, I was like, because I started watching my season. And I was waiting, but I thought, let me put that on hold and watch this, and then I'll go back to that. And so I'm looking forward to it, actually. Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know Trish was in the Big Brother house. What season were you on, Trish? Let the people know and tell us a bit about who you are.
Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I don't remember the actual season number, but it was a later season. Yeah, the Big Brother UK season.
That was the reboot, wasn't it? The Big Brother reboot, basically.
Yeah, the reboot on ITV.
Yeah.
So I think it comes up as season 1 on ITV Play, actually.
Brother.
So it comes up as season 1. It's a comeback, and I think we've done quite a good job as a whole cast.
It was
very first. At one point, been laughing in the house saying this is going to be called the Work Brother, and I think at some point we found out that it was called the Work Brother. So yeah, I'm from Big Brother. I'm a mom. I'm a mom to a special boy. My son Sankara. He's autistic, and he's the most special thing that's ever happened to me. In terms of my background, at the moment, I'm not working except for being a mom, which is a job within itself. But my background is in mental health, supporting roles. I'm also an activist. I'm a feminist. I'm a big feminist, which makes me very different because of my background. I'm often expected to be traditional. So yeah, that's something I'm still navigating. I think that's me in a whole. I'm a massive social activist, human rights activist. I'm a mom, and I'm wonderful.
I don't know if you know, Trish, but for 30 years I worked with children with special ed, with children with autism, ADHD, the whole spectrum. So tell me about your boy.
Okay, my son is Sankara. He's 5 years old. He's a Gemini, early Gemini. He's born in May. He was diagnosed with autism since 2023, Valentine's Day. The love of my life, diagnosed on the love day. He's so special. He's so funny. I have to say, I actually really like my son, and I know I say this often to a lot of people. I know you're supposed to love your children, and I love him, and he's amazing. But I actually really like him as well as a person. Like, I find him real cool. Like, I find him quite interesting. He teaches me quite a lot. Yeah, even his interests and his personality. Even though some of his personality is very much symptoms, like being very forward, being very honest. That I'm trying to nip that in. I find it quite interesting because he teaches me a lot. You know, parenthood was something that I thought where I'm guiding someone, I'm teaching them something, you know, their whole life depends on me. But actually, he's guiding me and he's teaching me quite a lot. And my life pretty much depends on his existence as well. There's been a lot of times where just his existence alone has saved me. And so, yeah.
You're a single parent, are you?
Yes, I am a single parent, yeah. But I co-parent really well with his dad. Like, that's something that we've actually navigated quite well, I have to say.
And what made you go into the Big Brother?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, first of all, I love Big Brother. I've always loved Big Brother. And when I used to watch it, I'd always be like, oh my gosh, I could so do that task. Oh my God, why did you fuck that up? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I could see myself in there. And I had a lot of people, a lot of close friends and family that's like, you know what, you should go on Big Brother. You should go on Big Brother. And I was like, I will. And then eventually it kind of went off air. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've missed my chance. And then when it was back, and also I've had some difficulties like finding a conventional job for a single mother with an autistic boy. And we live quite far from what I call my community or my village. So it's been kind of tough, like getting a job that's consistent and makes sense with his school schedules and everything, and childcare as well, all the prices and everything. So I thought I've got to do something conventional, and I decided to tap back into my creative side. I have a degree in acting. I went to a drama school. And also I used to write monologues. I love writing monologues. Storytelling, that's something else we'll probably get into. But so, you know what, let me tap into my creativity. Let me tap into an industry that's more flexible in terms of schedules and stuff. And so when I saw Big Brother was coming back on, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a sign. I'm going to apply. And it's so weird, but I knew I would end up on Big Brother. Like, I just knew it. Obviously, I talk to my guardian angels. I know that sounds wild to some people. I talk to my guardian angels.
Not to us. No.
Not to us.
We just had a very interesting conversation.
Great. Yeah. Those are my people. Yeah, so I talk to my guardian angels, and because my dad's on the other side now, I was like, Dad, if you don't help me out with this, I'm going to become a stripper. If you don't want that to happen...
You're in the wrong country. You need to go to Berlin for that.
But I know he wouldn't like that. I was like, I need to get into Big Brother. So I applied, and
So how did you apply?
I went on the application site. I think I just Googled it. And then he had a link, and then I went on the link, and then you had to fill in a few questionnaires.
Did you make a video? Yeah.
Yeah, you had to make a video. Yeah, you had to make a video, and I made.
No, saying so. The video is what won you over to the show, probably. So, what did you do in that video? Did you just introduce yourself and talked about your family life and why you should be on Big Brother, basically, right?
Yeah, I did. I pretty much just said, I think because when I saw that, when I knew I was going to apply, I spoke to my mum, and I was like, I'm thinking of applying for Big Brother. She was like, oh my gosh, you are wonderful. You'll be amazing at that with your feminist stuff and, your untraditional self. She was like, and you talk back, you won't have anything from anybody. So you'll be perfect for that kind of show. And I was like, okay. I thought that was going to be a difficult conversation. So it's like, cool. So then when I applied, I think I mentioned in the video that, even though I'm 33, my mom's now giving me permission to disgrace her. So here I go. And I mentioned being a mom, and I was like, yeah, but my son's old enough to take care of himself, even though he's only 4. He's good. And I was just saying, I think I was just being myself, and
yeah.
At first I wasn't quite sure because I didn't hear back from them for I think 2 months or something. Then on the third month,
wow, it's a long time, isn't it? 2 months.
Yeah.
So when you got into the Big Brother house, obviously you did make a couple of relationships in there. You were quite close with a few of them, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yes, I was.
And do you see any of them now?
I haven't seen any of them in a while, but I speak to since coming out the house, I've spoken to Yinran, that's my babe. Noki, that's my sis. I've spoken to Matty, love him. I've also spoken to Hallie's checked up on me actually. I spoke to her. I was in contact with Terry for some time. I spoke to Farida.
I never forgot about her. Wow.
Yeah, she's good people. Spoke to Zach. I'm trying to remember. Dylan reached out to me, and that was awkward. Anyway,
about Jordan and Henry.
No, I've. You know what? I spoke to. You know what? At first, I spoke to both of them when they come out. Yeah. I spoke to Jordan. Was not so receptive, and he said he needed some time, so we kind of left it there. And Henry was very receptive, actually. We arranged a meet-up, which he didn't turn up to, and then he said he'll reschedule, and then it pretty much kind of went down from that. But after a while, we kind of had a closure conversation, which was, I guess, good in some ways. But yeah, it's all love from my side. Moving on. Obviously, there was hurt there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult when you're going to reality TV shows. I mean, Ramona's been in one, I've been in one, and you don't know what you're up against, do you? You're in there on your own, really, and you just have to make the most of it. I suppose the Big Brother house is a bit different because we had a lot of tasks. I know they've ramped it up because you had so many tasks. So yours was like the Women Traitors. they never used to have so many tasks, did they, in the Big Brother house? It was more sitting around and doing a few quizzes. This year, they ramped it right up, didn't they? Huh? They did.
They had us working.
And I think what they did, it seemed as if it was a bit of a crossover between the Traitors, the Big Brother house, and what's the other one? It was kind of a crossover between 3 different reality TV programs.
Absolutely. It is actually quite funny you say that, because for us sometimes, being in there 24 hours, sometimes a lot of us would actually complain that we want tasks. Yeah. Like, we will actually complain. And then sometimes when other people are complaining, I'm like, guys, shut up, please. They're going to give us a task, man. They're actually going to give us a hard one. Shut up, just shut up. You know, let's just leave it. But a lot of people actually wanted to be active. Like, we had people that wanted to do something. So whenever they gave us a task, often we were quite curious. And then maybe when we hear it, we're like, oh.
Yeah, I've always thought about the Big Brother house and thinking, because, you know, everybody wanted to go in there when it first came out. It's such a great thing to do. But I think my problem would be sleeping arrangements and bathrooms. They're the 2 things that would worry me. Bathrooms, sleeping arrangements. Everything else, I don't think I'd be happy walking into a bathroom or a toilet that was left in a disgusting state.
You know what? It didn't happen too often, and luckily I never encountered it, so I count my blessings for that. But I think maybe on 2 occasions, you know, my biggest issue with the bathrooms was that it didn't have a lock. That was my biggest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was no lock. So on a few incidences, we may have had people that walked in on others, or like almost a little bit of an incident. And my thing is, I always froze. They'll be like, is someone in? I'm like,
And what about the bedrooms? Are they as close as it looks? Because it looks as if your bed's literally on top of someone's.
Oh, no, it's not. Actually, that depends. Yeah, it's quite close, but there's still enough space for you to get off and like walk out and whatnot. But it's not too spacious, but it's a big bedroom. You know, don't get me wrong, it's a big bedroom. In terms of the bedroom itself, it's got toilet space in it. So yeah, it's quite big. It's quite spacious. It's like kind of split into little groups. You know, maybe there's like a big bedsit there where there's 2 people that sleep in there. There's like 4 people on one side and then 4 people on the opposite, and then there's space in between, and then there's other people on the other side of the bedroom. So, and then there's also like the dressing room parts in there.
Is to wear sunglasses. Everybody had sunglasses or to cover their eyes.
Oh yeah, we did that sometimes. Yeah. Well, some people just actually like wearing sunglasses. So some people would wear that, and sometimes people would wear that when they don't have their makeup on, or the lighting is too bright. You know, it just kind of varies. But we weren't allowed to wear it. Often we were told off for wearing them. You know, you just hear Big Brother come up and say, "This is Big Brother." Can all housemates remove their sunglasses? And like, or they're like, all housemates are reminded they're not allowed to wear sunglasses. Ugh.
So you never had production come out anything if there was something they didn't like, so Big Brother would talk to you?
Oh, no. I think Big Brother is quite raw, you know. So Big Brother didn't really, nobody came out to speak to us. We didn't have human contact with anybody. That was supposed to be the case. There was an incident when I think Noki had a bit of I don't know if it was a panic attack or something, and then they had to lock that room. Well, I may be wrong, but I think they locked the room, and then I think some of the production team came or medical team came.
Oh, okay.
But that was the only time. Otherwise, no. All the instigating gets done in the diary room.
Food and things is just plonked there. You don't see the people bring it.
No, we don't see it. Often it happens during nighttime when we're sleeping. Then yeah, we wake up in the morning. They also lock the areas. So at nighttime we'll be locked in the bedroom because there's a toilet there. Yeah.
What if you want to be outside? Like some people wanted to sleep outside.
You know that happened on the first night.
What do you mean sleep outside? What if somebody wants to go for a cigarette or get a drink from the fridge?
Oh, no, listen, the cigarette area was open at a specific times. So they wouldn't, it's open. They'll be like...
what about a drink? Water or juice or something from the fridge? You're not allowed to go to the kitchen?
Not at night. I think once it's locked, it's locked. But in, anything else, it'll be like it's open during the day. Do you know what I mean? From the morning and whatnot. But the whole house was open because I think what happened was with Jenkins snoring, some people wanted to sleep away from the bedroom, so people are out, and I think maybe that may have prevented the night staff from like putting things in. So the next day we're pretty much locked in.
So, what is the best relationship you made during your time at Big Brother, and what's the worst relationship you made?
I think my best relationship, I know my best relationships that I made are with, in particular, Yenran and Matty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two, especially, like, that's considering the whole time, even here, like right now.
And why is that? Why are these two? Why were they your best relationships?
I think in the house, there were always people I can talk to, people that were there for me. I think one thing I didn't really, I maybe took for granted was Matty's relationship to me. I think because I wasn't able to see what was happening when I wasn't around, I didn't know how much Matty was defending me and riding for me. And that's something family and friends have really said, like, you know what, if there's one person that would be like defending you, riding for you, or speaking in the diary room clearly about you, was Matty. And also he was really like appreciated for my loved ones in regards to how he responded when we did the podcast. Everyone was Matty's reaction. You can see that he genuinely felt guilty and acknowledged that, you know, maybe he could have said more, he could have done more. So that's something that's really appreciated. And Yinran, because we always have a way of motivating each other, and we do that till now, and we always laugh a lot as well. We can get on the phone, I'm like, hello Boo, she's like, hello Trish, and then we just start laughing. And even the things we talk about, and also she's really, really, really smart. She's really strategic, and she's insightful and hard bite and everything. And she's given me a lot of proverbs. And she's also really sweet and loving, which makes it really easy to like connect with her, like on all bases. And we can have really like honest and raw conversations. You know, like if and listen, I need you to be honest with me. Then I know we're having an honest conversation from then. Do you know what I mean? And I really appreciate people. So yeah, the integrity really keeps me intact. It keeps me grounded, and those are my two relationships I can say I'm really close to consistently from the house till now. But in terms of the house, I think it was quite clear who I was close to. I was so close to Jordan. I was also very close to Henry. I think Henry and I was expected to like dislike each other, but actually we bonded from the onset, you know. He likes to laugh at things, I like to laugh at things, and so together we just laughed a lot. And I find him incredibly funny, and he has a soft heart, especially once you have a conversation with him. I know that his background, he's quite privileged, so sometimes he can overlook things, but once you have a conversation with him, he's actually able to like meet you at a level and have like sincere conversations, which was good. And I and Jordan, again, I think we had kind of like I enjoyed his dry humor. We have a like we had an open, like an honest relationship. We can tell each other when we're fucking up, which was so important for me anyway. And I think he appreciated that. I can tell him, Leo, listen, bruv, you're moving mad sometimes. And I think that was quite steady. So yeah. And also Matty, we had a special relationship. I think it's a shame me and Matty's relationship didn't really come forward as much as we connected, because we talked about so many important conversations. We spoke about male being victims of SA. We spoke a lot about that. We went into that. We spoke about homosexuality. We spoke about the struggles that African women face, because he's done some work in Africa. I think it was in Uganda. And so we shared a lot of experiences that were quite insightful. So yeah, we connected quite well, and we danced a lot as well. We used to twerk all the time.
These are all your great relationships. What was like your worst relationship? What you can only pick one person.
You know, I think my worst relationship, in hindsight, and realizing that since coming out in the house, I wouldn't have said that, but now since coming out, I think it was actually with Chanel. Yeah, I think that was my worst. I think it was probably my worst relationship, because I think of how much I didn't know how bad she was perceiving me, or how
looking back and seeing it,
or how threatening I was to her. Whereas I think in several occasions I thought we just didn't really know each other well, And then on some occasions, I felt like we had connected and talked about issues that were deep to my heart. And I think in even one challenge, I think it was I forgot the name of it, but it was the one where we had to remember the steps of the dance, and we were posing, wearing all white. We worked really well together in that, so that we can both attend the party. And she was very encouraging and supportive towards me at the party when I made it clear that actually my Big Brother experience has been quite shaken by how I think other people feel about me. She was able to kind of like comfort me and, you know, say all these things, and to come out and kind of see the opposite. It's kind of shaken me, along with my experience of even like, I think her mom putting up a Facebook status about me during the time. It's been a bit of a weird experience, you know, and I wish we had been more open and honest with each other in the house, because I don't a bad person, but I think she wasn't nice to me, you know, or about me rather. And
Chanel, the HR person.
No. Oh, that's Kerry.
No, Kerry. No, Kerry. No, Kerry's the lady that's who used to sit in the wheelchair sometimes. That's Kerry.
Yeah.
Was it Chanel? Didn't she do HR or something? Or
she's a dental therapist.
Dental therapist, that's the one. Yeah. Dental therapist.
Do you know what it is? Sometimes in like reality shows, I think, especially with Rise and Fall, sometimes you didn't see who spoke good or bad about you. Yeah. And when I looked back, like season 1, I was like, fucking hell, Prince was like really looking up to me, but he never showed me that. He never showed me that he was always on my side. Like, he would always be so reserved, right? And you don't know whether that person's thinking good or bad. But and then obviously coming out of it, and then you watch back everybody's secret video footage where they're talking to the camera, and you're like, that son of a did he just say that, or did she just say that? And then like the truth comes out, and then actually by that time it's too late, because the feeling you had on set is obviously gone now because you're watching it back. But I can totally understand where you're like, you didn't expect certain people to talk or react the way they reacted because it was so private. So what is it that you're doing now, like since you've been out? Are you did you get a job? Are you in TV now? Are you staying in the entertainment industry? What are you doing?
Well, first I took some time out. I just kind of like had to take a bit of a break after the scandal and everything. I kind of just wanted some time to myself and also my mental health. And I think also adjusting to the outside world, out the house itself, is a big toll. It's like a big adjustment, because honestly, you have no access to the outside world. And coming out, that so much was happening. So many public figures that I know kind of passing away, and Gaza getting worse. So much was happening. There was so much to take in. And also just being a mom, my son was experiencing some anxiety, separation anxiety, just kind of like adjusting and settling for him as well.
You talked about the scandal. Because some people might not have seen it. What are you touching on there, Trish?
Okay, so I would definitely call it an attack. I would think I experienced an attack, a social media attack, where my old tweets were brought up to like question my and it affected me a lot, because I think just adjusting to the world, I think it happened less than 24 hours after I was out, and to kind of go from that big, like lots of love, I think everything was overwhelming. Even the lots of love, even though it was positive, it was still overwhelming to kind of adjust through everything. And then the scandal, the tweets coming out, and having
sorry, I might have missed this. What tweets are we talking about here?
Okay, so my old tweets for my account, you don't know anything about it.
I don't think Ramona does, because you didn't really follow that. But I think you're talking about the homophobic stuff and whatever, are you?
Yeah, you know what? It was some tweets that I think they were questionable, but there was a lot of tweets that were also misinterpreted. Like there was that was very much pro LGBT, but because I think the language as well and differences, like I think in one of them I had asked, what is the Kun version of the LGBT community? And that was said to be homophobic. And it's actually like, no, I'm asking what is someone who's anti-LGBT whilst belonging to the LGBT community. And I think especially that was done with more recent tweets. There was like a lot of misinterpretation on that. And also it was quite calculating in a way that it was done. Because if you look at the tweets, there were specific words that were searched. But yeah, I don't want to get too caught up
I mean,
in
we
that.
don't want to go over old ground because that's not fair on you either. Because I'm sure that's something you want to put behind you anyway. But what have you learned from all of that yourself personally, Trish?
I think there's been a lot of lessons in here. It's not one particular lesson. I think first it's just people are quite fickle. You know, people can flip. And I think what I've appreciated about this is also this experience this experience kind of fiddles out the people who are not meant to be for me and the people who are for me. I think when you come out of a reality TV show, a lot of people follow you, and a lot of people follow you because other people follow you, not because of who you are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know? And then when something like this happens, you look at the people who kind of think quite critically as well and can assess the social issues and social expectations and the misjustice that's being done in here, and will kind of like have an opinion. Obviously, you have people who are genuinely hurt because this is a shock to them. As these tweets are old to me, these are new to some people, and so you kind of do good grace to accept people, to allow people to kind of process that as well. And so you have difficult conversations with people, which was quite insightful to me as well. But then you have the people who followed you because it's the hype at the moment, and they kind of fiddle out, and then it kind of allows you to connect to the people who are genuinely for you. But it also makes me realize just how much more Black women are penalized in the industry in comparison to other women. You know, I think there's a higher expectations for us. You're loved when you're seen as a victim, but when you're actually a human being who is flawed, who does have a past, who has grown up in this racist country that who has adapted ideologies from their settings, you are judged much more than others who are given more grace in demonstrating similar behavior or actions at the present moment. You know, like if we look back into the house, there was a lot, like I said, we spoke about microaggression. There's a lot of people who had inflicted that upon me and Noki, the other Black woman, and a lot of other people who are demonstrated like vile behavior, but somehow that was kind of overlooked. And so stuff like that is the lesson to me. It's like what happens in a house as a social experiment is just a little insight into what happens in a bigger world outside, you know. And so it's kind of opened my eyes in a way, because maybe I was a bit naive in terms of my expectations, but also I think it just kind of highlighted how there are like dual side to the world. There's one side who are quite harsh, and people who are projecting their own personal experiences and their own judgments, and then there's another side who are very loving, people reaching out to you, offering support and love and platforms and invites and whatnot. And so it's just about kind of balancing which one you want to focus on.
It was lovely to see you the other day when I met you at the RuPaul thing. It was fantastic.
Oh, you made my day. Thank you.
No, it was great. And, you know, I think in life we all make mistakes and say things that are misinterpreted and that, and people kind of judge you quickly. And I've learned to be reflective. That's one of the things I'm really good at now. I wasn't really good at it years ago, but I've learned to be more a reflective person. And I think sometimes you just have to know people, because people don't know people, do they? They look at them on TV, they think, oh, I know Ramona, oh, look at her, or they don't know anything about you. And I don't think people should worry about what other people think if you know yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's as simple as that. If you know yourself, you shouldn't really worry about what people write, what people say.
Yeah.
Need to be you.
I think with me as well. How old are you, Trish? Don't mind me asking.
33.
33. So I just think, you know, in life at different time, whether you're in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, trust me, you learn something new every time. Doesn't matter how old you get. And I feel like, you know, what you should also do is not listen to anyone but the closest to you. And if they have feedback that could really shape you in a positive manner, it's always important to take that in as positive feedback. Because I used to be really loud and crazy and think, fuck them all, I'm gonna do it my way or the highway. But then when you like kind of take a moment and you kind of like, you know, are close with like your friends, your family, like people are really who you trust, who are like, you know, eins to eins with you, one to one, where you're like, you know, I understand, and they watch you on TV. Like when I came out, my sister had great feedback, and I was like, oh, here we go. But like, it's just good to hear the perspective of people we love, right?
Yeah.
Not the people who are on social media and trolling. And second thing, you touched base on racism. Have you traveled a lot, or have you just been purely based in the UK?
You know, yeah, I wouldn't say I've been purely based in the UK because I was born in Congo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides Congo, besides the United Kingdom, have you like been anywhere like the UAE or Europe? Have you like traveled around?
Yeah, slightly. To be honest, I haven't traveled as much as I'd like to. In my head, but realistically, I actually had to do a lot more. I went to France. I go to France quite often. I think as a Congolese person, France is like where your other cousins live, so it's like a second home in a way. I've been to New York. I went to Tenerife not long ago. I've been to Ghana.
So the reason why I ask is because you spoke about racism. I just want you to know, I don't personally think it's just racism doesn't fall just for Black women. I'm a brown person, right? And I'm like Indian, German, English, whatever you want to call it. And I face racism probably every other day here in Germany. And I was touched base on this with Faye the other time as well. And it is difficult. But I wouldn't say it's because obviously I am Indian that this is happening to me. But I just feel like, just want you to know, Trish, there's a lot of bad people in the world and there's a lot of good people in the world. But racism exists. And that's just what it is. And, what we need to do is stay positive and spread the word that it shouldn't be condoned and it shouldn't be accepted. And we are all kind of one, and we will one day be one when everyone is kind of a neutral color, where everybody has mixed babies. We are going to be one, and it is going to happen, whether it's now or in a million years or 100 years. At the end of the day, I think don't put yourself down with comments like that. And I think, or define it to one race. We all really go through it a lot. And I just want you to know that. It's not just defined to one culture. Like we all fucking face it.
I absolutely agree, because actually some of my conversations that I really, really enjoyed were with Asian women as well. I had a lot of Asian women reach out to me. I had a lot of Asian women speak to me and say how much they appreciated me speaking on microaggression, and how it's probably one of the only times they felt like that was someone on reality TV that they could relate to, that was speaking about issues that they could relate to and face as well. So yeah, I'm very much like, I understand like a lot of people of color, women of color face these similar issues. And I think that's one of the good things about this Big Brother as well. I think it allowed us to talk about and touch on issues that we've never really experienced or spoken about before. Like it was topic of to be able to come out to that and have, like I said, difficult conversations with people in regards to race, genders, all types of discrimination. That was really, really insightful. And it's different people from different communities. I had conversations with Jewish people. It's been quite interesting. And I've actually really, really enjoyed that part of it, to see that actually it took some people were learning. There was people who were like, this is exactly what I face. And there was also people who were like, now I see what my friends have been saying, what my Asian friends have been saying, what my Black friends have been saying. I've never seen it like that on TV before. And so that was really nice to hear people were learning as well. And people even acknowledging how much they've participated in someone else's microaggression. I cannot say that I didn't enjoy what I was hearing when I came out. I do take the positive conversations and comments into, like, I do weigh it in now. There was a point where I was more focused on the negative, but that wasn't when everything was manic. At the moment, I'm like so appreciative of the positive impact it's had, and yeah, I'm so grateful.
And are you going into, so what's your next step? Are you going to go into more TV, or are you just taking a break?
You know what? I would like to go into more TV. Like I would appreciate that, because I have to say another thing, just to go back here. Another thing I learned from the Big Brother experience is that I make great TV.
You did indeed.
It's like my family and friends were right. I make great TV. And like you said, taking on advice and opinions from my loved ones. When I come out, I cannot tell you how much they were so proud. Like, it's the first time my mum has defended me with her life. Yeah.
I liked you in the kitchen, Trish.
You know what my mum said? My mum said one of her colleagues came and said, Celine, your daughter had 10 lamb chops to herself. But the thing is, I just want to clarify, I didn't. It wasn't 10 lamb chops myself. But my mum was like, you made me so proud, you know, to see how people loved you. Like, she couldn't believe it. She was just so proud of me and my loved ones.
There was one point they were chanting, weren't they? Trish win, Trish win. And that's when it went all weird. That's when you got actually ejected that night, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's really weird. Don't you think that was strange, that bit?
It was a moment for sure. It was a moment. I was just beginning to accept that I'm loved in the house.
Yes.
Sorry, we've reached like our time. I know. The next person is already waiting. I don't know where the time went. So, Trish, we need to definitely do a part 2 because it's been too quick, and there's a lot still to cover. So I just want to thank you for coming onto the Uncut Show. It's been lovely. Your personality is huge. It's incredible. And we appreciate your time, and hopefully we will have you on again to tell us more about your next steps going forward in the entertainment industry.
And where can people reach you, Trish? What's your handles?
Okay, so my Instagram is at I am Balusa, so that's BALUSA. My TikTok, which I'm working on, is Trish Balusa. My email is contact@trishbalusa.com. I don't know what else to give. My Twitter or my X is @Balusa Trish. And I think that's all. That's me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Trish. Thank you for coming to the Uncut.
Thanks ever so much, Trish. Wow, the time just flew. Amazing.
Fast. I was real shocked. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.